So, okay. So yesterday we have seen so we have seen how to work with the middleware and what is the middleware is and how it will do the yes. So I said how to develop a middleware. So after that, now I've taken one example of developing one simple middleware. So that is yeah. So I want to develop a middleware that should block the IP address. Okay, I want to develop a middleware that should block the IP address. That should block the IP address. Okay, right? So what we are doing here is so here block middleware, block IP middleware. So here we are trying to get the response object. And here I'm trying to use the call. And what I'll do is I'll try to define here the IP addresses which you want to block it. Which IP address you want to block it. You define the list of IP addresses. So here there is one list which contain IP addresses. So 120.0.0.1. So give some IP addresses which you want to block it. 127.0.0.1. Now this is a list contains some IP addresses. Okay, which you want to block it. Okay. Now this you can call it as a physical IP address. Okay. Then after that, you are writing yourself comma request. Now this is nothing but a callable. This is a callable. Now here you try to get IP address of a client, IP address of the user. But where you find the IP address of the user in the request, because request is nothing but input. Request is nothing but input. Now whenever client send a request, so the client to send a request, the client to send a request using which one here? Browser. Client to send a request using what here? Browser. So whenever client send a request, your browser will prepare HTTP request. The browser will prepare HTTP request. And what this HTTP request is having request headers. I said already HTTP request is divided into three parts. Okay, request is divided into three parts. One is called a request URL, and there is a request body. Sorry, there is a request body, and there is a request headers. Now here you find a request header. So what request header contain information about client? Anyways, it contain information about which one? Browser. So which browser is used? Okay, and what language is supported by the browser? What content type is supported by browser? All this information is sent as a part of request header. Okay, now from this request, now this request is sent to the server. So what server is doing? Creating HTTP request object, and this is having get. Okay, if the request method is get, then it's having get. If it is a request method is post, the data is stored in post. Suppose if the now where this header information is stored in one dictionary called meta. There is one dictionary called which one? Meta. So request is having one dictionary, and what is the dictionary is meta. So what this dictionary contain? Header information. Which information it is having? Header information. Request header information is there inside one dictionary called which one? Meta. So what do you do it? You read this meta information. Okay. So request dot. Now what you are trying to use here? Meta. So this request dot metadata. It contain request headers. What it contain? Request headers. Request dot meta. Okay. So what it is having? Request headers. So metadata, which is nothing but HTTP headers. And that information you find in one dictionary called which one? Meta. So meta is a dictionary which contain you can see HTTP user agent. Okay, this is it means it will store the data as a key and value. It will store the information as a key and value. Key is nothing but attribute name. Now suppose what is the name of this is HTTP user agent. So what is this HTTP user agent will do? It will return user agent is nothing but browser type. Which browser is used? Okay. So are you using Chrome or Mozilla? Okay. So some okay Edge. What you are using it? So that information you can get it by using user agent, because browser is an agent or not? Yes. In the same way, you can find like HTTPX API key. If any key is sent, you can try to find that, and you can find out the content length and content type. So which type of content is sent by client to what server? In the same way, there is one header, a remote address. There is one header called there is one header. What is the name of the header? Is remote address here. Identify the user, which address here? IP address. So how can I get the IP address here? Remote address. Even you can get the host. Okay, remote address. This is what here? Header name. It is nothing but which name? Header name. So meta dot get. So what is the name of the key is remote remote underscore what is that? Address. So what is the remote address return? Address. Whose address? Client IP address. It's written with whose address? Client IP address. So this will return the address. Okay, this will return the address. And this address should not be there in this list. If this address is there in this list, then I should block it. If this address is there in this list, I should block it. If this address is not there in the list, you should forward the request to the view. I should forward the request to what here? View. Okay. If the address is not exist, you should forward the request to the view. If the address is exist, you have to generate what? Response. Okay. By using, how can you get the response? By using self.get response and request that will get the response here. Okay. So here, what I'm doing is from Django dot HTTP import HTTP response. Import HTTP response. And here you are verifying if address not in A, what you are doing, you are saying response equal to self dot get response. You are sending a request to the view. Whichever view you are sending a request, it will send a request to that view. Okay. Otherwise, otherwise, so you send a request and you said here return response, return the response. Otherwise, if it is exist in list, what is your list is here self dot A. Okay, else you are creating a response and you are saying that your IP is blocked. Okay, your IP is blocked. Your IP address is blocked. Your IP address is blocked and then return a response. Getting on. So this is if the condition is a true and this is a condition is a false. So then after developing this middleware, you have to register it. After developing a middleware, you have to register this middleware. So where you register the middleware in settings.py. So you're trying to register application one dot. So middleware dot. So what is the name of this middleware? Block IP middleware. So what is the name of the middleware? Block IP middleware. Right? Okay, right. Now, whenever you send a request to the view one, so where you are sending a request to the view one. Now, we register how many middlewares? Two middlewares. So middlewares always executed in the order in which it is defined. Here in settings.py, how many middlewares you have written? Two. So first it will execute which middleware? Test middleware and block IP middleware. So it will execute first a security middleware, session middleware, common middleware. All these middlewares execute one by one. Getting on. So all the middlewares get executed. Whatever middlewares you register in the settings.py, all these middlewares get executed. All these middlewares get what? Executed. Okay, whatever middlewares you write here, all these middlewares get executed. The order in which it is defined. Okay. So you register how many middlewares here? Two middlewares. Okay, now. So this middleware is not bind with one view. It is bind with what? All the views. Because before sending a request to the view, which view? Any view. Before sending the request to the view, which view? Any view. Any view. Getting on it. Any view, it will identify here. Okay, and then forward that request to what? View. Okay, right? Now, if you want to forward the request to some other view, then you can change it. You can change it by using redirect. You can use what here? Redirect and assign a role based. You'll try to identify the role of the user. If it's admin, you'll forward to which one? Admin dashboard. If it is employee, you forward to which dashboard? Employee. So that you can write in which one? Middleware. That operation you can write in which one? Middleware. So logs you can create it. You can also create a log. Okay, log means you can identify like which user is logged in, what time is logged in, what time is logged out. Okay, what is the request? Who sent the request? You want to create one log. How many requests are sent? Okay, so that log also maintained by using which one? Middleware, right? So after this, now now you try to run the server here. Okay, just from the server here. Now you can see your IP address is blocked. Okay, but who blocked this IP address is middleware. Now, is it request is sent to the view? No. So because I said IP address is what 120 dot, sorry, 120, what is a 127.0.0.1. So first it is executed first middleware here. First middleware is executed. After executing first middleware, then it's executing what? Second middleware. Getting on. So generally, you write one project will have only one middleware. You write only one middleware where all the operations you write it. Okay, whatever you want to do. But you can have a multiple middlewares, but all these middlewares get executed the order in which it is defined. So this IP address is blocked or not? Yes. See here. Now there is a message in the browser, okay, saying that your IP is a block. 127.0.0.1. Understood? So any operation which you want to do it before sending a request to the server, before sending the request to the server, so that operation you are writing in what? Middleware. So here in the same document, I'm adding in the same document. Okay. So we added one more here. So this is a session in middlewares dot. You add this in middleware dot py. Okay, add this in middleware dot py, right? And register it. So where you register in settings dot py. Register in settings dot py, right? So go to settings dot py. So last we register here. Now even you can add a response. Response means, for example, you want to add more information to the response. You want to add more information to what? Response. Already view will generate a response or not? Yes. Okay. Now you want to add more information to what? Response. Yeah, I think this one you understood, right? So here simple middleware where it just block the IP address. Now here I want to add more information to the response. For example, for example, there is a common thing which belongs to what? Response. Whenever you generate a response, you want to add some information into what? Response. That is a common for all the views. That will be the common that you can do it by using template inheritance and all the things. But if you want that, you can add within the as a part of which one? A response, and you can send it as a part of response, and you can send it. Now this is an HTTP response. Now suppose if the IP address is valid, it will do this get response, and this is a response. And in the response, you want to add more content, or you want to change the headers, response headers, you want to change it. Okay. So that you can do it by using which one? Response object. Now you have an HTTP response. An HTTP response provide a lot of methods. If you see HTTP response, and this is having a lot of methods. So HTTP response is having a lot of methods. Now there is a content type, status, content type, and you have what here? Header. And yes. Now if you see this HTTP response, so there is a request object and there is a response object. Now here you are creating HTTP response object. Okay. You can write more information to the response by using which method? Write method. For example, if you want to write more information to the response, what you can do? You can use which method? Write method. So there is a class. Okay, there is a class add more content middleware. Okay, or header middleware. Okay, suppose you want to add header and footer, which is a common for every response. So whenever it generates a response, you want to write more information. Then I'll say some modify response, modify response middleware. So what is the name of the middleware is modify response middleware. So what this middleware will do is it will try to modify the response content. Okay. Now this is the same. You need to write a constructor. You have to write a constructor. And after writing a constructor, okay, write a call. So I'm writing the same thing. And what you're trying to do is you're not modifying the request, but you are modifying which one? Response. Even you can modify the request. Okay, suppose get is there. You want to add more information into what? Get. You can add more information into the get by using request dot. If the request method is get, so get is a dictionary or not? Yes. So in this, you can add more information and you can send it to whom? You. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to say a response. Okay, response equal to self dot get response by sending what here? Request. Then I'm saying response dot write. So here I'm saying more data. Just here what more data I write it. So whatever data you want to write it, you modify the response. I just write here h2. I write here h2. So this is more data which is added in the response and written it. Added more data in the response and written it. So we'll change this because it will not send a response. Okay, here I changed it. Now you have to register middleware, modify response middleware, modify response middleware. Now go to settings.py. So here you are modifying. So modify response middleware. So you can modify the response headers. You can modify the response headers here, right? Now here you send a request. Now you send a request to the view. So that is a view one. Now you can see more data is added. But who's added more data here? Middleware. Who's added more data here? Middleware. Now you send a request to any view. But this is a common. So assume that there is a view two. Okay, this is a view two and I send a request. And here I'm saying response equal to HTTP response. And this is H2. And this is view two. What is this is here? View two. And return a response. You can put header. Header footer is common, right? So you put there. Okay. Now when I send a request, now register this view. So there is a view one and there is a view two. And here you define the path. And what is the path is view two and comma view two. So here I'm sending a request to the view. So this is what here view one added. And I send a request to the view two. I send a request to the view two. Now this is view two and more data. It means this is a common, global operation. You want to perform an operation which is global to all the views. And that you are writing in which one here? Middleware. It means always the middleware is executed before sending a request. Always the middleware is executed before sending a request and after sending before sending a response to the client. So this is a middleware where you modify the content. In this middleware, what you have done, you modified the content. So content is modified here. So after that, you register. Okay, you register this in settings.py. So take a middleware. So this is a middleware.py. So in middleware dot, sorry, this is in settings.py. So modify the content. That's all. Now here I develop another view. So this is in views.py. So you can create a loggers. You can also create what? Logger where maintain the log. So where you can maintain the log. Okay, right? You can create a loggers where you can maintain the log, right? So this is urls.py. Okay, I think you understood this. This is how you work with the middlewares. Now next we'll see how to work with the media files. So working with what here? Media files. So working with the media files or media data or media files. So nowadays, if you see any website or web application, what will happen? You upload images. For example, user profile. You enter all your details, then upload what? Image. Okay. After after that, you upload the image. Okay. So where this image gets stored in server. Generally, images you don't store in database, but images path you store in what? Database. Because if you store media files in the database occupy more space. Correct on. So you never store the images, audio files, video files into database. But what database contain the location where this image is available, where this audio file is available, where this video file is available, that information will be there in the database. Correct on. So working with media files requires certain things. So media files, okay, media files, media files are nothing but nothing but Nothing but what here? Images, audio files, and what is that? Video files. So all these you can call it as which one? Media files. So web application required. Web application required to work with which one? Media files. Because suppose if you take online shopping, like if you see Amazon or Flipkart or anything, who will upload that images? Supplier. Okay, who will upload all those images is supplier. Supplier will upload the images. He'll upload the product and he'll upload the product image. Getting on. Suppose if you take anything digital marketing or anything, you want to sell any product, you'll upload the image, right? You want to sell a product in all OLX, then what do you do it? Upload the image and sell it. Nowadays, anything you want to sell it, you need to show the image, right? Picture is required or not? Yes. But where these images get uploaded, not in the database. These images or audio or video files are uploaded in the server, and your database hold only the location or metadata. Metadata means what is the name of the image, what is the name of the, what do you call it as audio file, what is the name of the video file. That information will be there in the, yes, database, which is nothing but path. It is having only the path, but original file will be there in what? Server. Physically it is stored in the server, but you don't store in the database, because if you store images, audio, video files in the database, it will take a lot of space. And if it takes a lot of space, what will happen? Efficiency will be decreased. Efficiency will be decreased. Because of that, you don't store in what? Database. You don't store in the database. Okay. So now let me tell you what are the basic steps. What are the basic steps to work with? What are the basic steps to work with media files? So media files, now this consists of two processes. One is uploading and one more is downloading. Media files, working with media files. So you're working with media files. Working with media files required. Okay, required two operations. Two operations. One is uploading. One is uploading image or media, audio or video. And second one is what? Downloading. Okay, displaying is different. Displaying is different. You can also display it. Okay, listing or displaying. Suppose you see the profile. You upload the profile. You view the profile. When you view the profile, you get all the information along with what? Image, profile picture or not? Yes. So that is uploading, downloading, as well as what? Displaying, right? So what are the basic steps to work with the media files? Okay. So the first thing is configuring media files. First one is what? Configuring media files. This is the first step. What is the first step is configuration of media files. So here configuration of media files require two things, because where you are storing images, audio or video files in server. Server means in your project context, you store in the project context in one folder. Now what do you have to define? You have to define the media path. What do you have to define? Media path. So configuration of media file consists of two things. The first one is defining. So first one is defining media files. Okay, files what here? Path. So path is nothing but a directory where you store these media files. So path is nothing but directory or folder where, okay, where media files are what here? Stored. Okay, second one is you have to define URL. You have to define what? URL. In browser, how you access these media files? Okay, because media files stored in one location in the server or not? Yes. Then in browser, how these media files are accessed? So that you can call it as which one? URL. So defining media files path and defining path is a physical. URL is what? Logical. You cannot access it directly C:\\. Can you access from browser like that? No. You access it by using logical name. That name is what here? URL. So defining media what here? URL. So how these images, the images are the media files. The media files are accessed within browser, using what is that? URL. Now it means URL is bind with what name? URL is bind with what name? Physical path. URL is a logical, okay, and that is bind with what? Physical path. Suppose view, you are accessing directly view. Are you calling the view directly? No, you are calling the view by using URL. That is a public name or not? Yes. Now whenever you want to call the image or audio or video, you call it with what? URL. You'll say slash is some URL and then access what? Image. So this URL you can call it as a public. And where this configuration is done in settings.py. This configuration is done in settings.py. So this configuration, okay, this configuration is done in, okay, what is this here? Settings.py. In settings.py, you have to define two things. One is media path and one more is what? Media URL. Okay. So you need to create two variables. One is, okay, media. First one is media. This is predefined variable. And what is the name of the variable is media root. It's nothing but the folder where you are storing media files. That's the folder where you store the media files. Okay, that is called as a media root. And one more is media. Second one is called as media URL. What is the second one is media URL. So what is the media root is? What is the media root is a predefined. It is a predefined variable. It is a predefined variable which hold physical path. Physical path or folder where, okay, media files are stored. Where media files are stored. Generally, how you define this? By using base directory. In settings.py, already which directory is there? Base directory. What is base directory refers to? In settings.py, what is base directory refers to here? Base directory refers to which folder? Project container folder. Base directory refers to which folder? Project container folder. So what do you define? You take a base directory already there. I'm just writing here. Okay. So base directory, this base directory is there already. Now to this base directory, you should add one more path. I should add what? One more path. Okay. Then how can you add a path? How can you add a path to this base directory? For that, you are trying to use the module called OS module. You try to import which module here? OS module. You try to import which module? OS module. And then in OS module, you are saying OS dot, okay, OS dot path dot, what you are saying? Join. OS dot path dot join. So you might ask, like, you can join path directly by using concat? No, because the path separator might be various from one OS to another. So because of that, you should not do it physically by using concatenation or something. Okay, you have to use which method? Join method. Now path, what is the directory here? Base directory. What is the directory here? Base directory. And then base directory comma, you need to define the folder which you created. Now here you have to give what name? What name? Folder name. Okay, in which folder this is available? In which folder you want to store it? In which folder you want to store it? Now this folder should be in which directory? Base directory. Base directory means project container folder. Always the base directory refers to which one? Project container folder. Project container folder it refers to. So base directory, okay, base directory refer to project. Project which folder? Container folder. This base directory refers to project container folder, right? And you have to create a folder, create a folder inside which folder? Project container folder. Create folder in project container folder. Now next one is media URL. Next one is media URL you have to define. So media URL you define like this. Now it is a string. URL is always what? String. And it is always prefixed with a slash. And what URL you want to give? What name you want to give to access this path? What URL you want to use it to access this path? Okay, now suppose if I'm writing media, if I'm writing here URL as what? Media. So this media is referring to that base directory and folder name or not? Yes. Correct or not? So whenever I'm writing slash media slash, then it is referring to which folder? Media folder. And from that media folder, you can access either images or audio or what is that? Video. But you don't access this physical directory directly, but you are accessing it by using URL. Now from browser, you access it by using which URL? Media. Any URL name. You can give any name. You can give any name. Any name you can give it. Okay. So this name is bind with, or this name is bind with. This name is bind with what? Media root. This name is bind with what here? Media root. So your media URL, media URL, media URL is bind with, what it is bind with? Media root. Means whenever you want to access this media root, you are accessing it by using which one here? Media URL. You are accessing it by using what? Media URL. Clear, right? Yes. Then after this is the first step. This is what here? First step to access this. Then what is the second step is you have to, so second step is you have to, what do you call it as? Where you are storing this media files in model. Where you are storing this media path is in model. Image name along with the path. Image name along with the path. Where you are storing that image name, audio name, video name, file name along with the path. Where? In model. Okay, but where is physically where it is available? In server. In system it is available, not in the database. Database is having only path. Database is having only path. It is having only path where it is available. Okay, there is a, suppose it is available in project. So project slash, what is that? Media slash, what is the name of the image? Some image one dot, image one dot. What is this? JPG. It is having only which name, or it is having only which path? File path. But where is actual image in, where is actual image in server? Now this is your project. Assume that this is your project. Inside this project, there is one folder called which one? Media. Inside this, there is one more folder called which one? Images. Inside this, what is the name of this? Is image one dot jpg. It means whenever you are reading it, it will read the image from this path or not? Yes, using media URL, media root and media URL, media root and media URL. Now this is first, second configuration, and second one is you have to create a model. What you have to do is you have to create a model. So create a model to store information about which files? Media files. You have to store information about media files. Now let me show you practically. So here I'm creating application. So Python manage.py and start application one. So what I'm doing is now anywhere you can write it. Okay, anywhere you can write it. But here I'm writing in somewhere here. So what is the name of this is media underscore URL. It is a predefined URL, predefined variable, but I'm giving name as what? Media. Then I'm trying to define the media. Media, what is that? Root. What is the name of the variable is media root. You are using base os dot import. Here only I can import it, right? Import os dot path. Import os dot path. Os dot path dot join. What is the name of this is base directory, comma, define the directory. What is the directory I'm using? Media. So in the container folder, I'm creating one folder called which one? Media. See, in the container folder, I created one folder called media, right? So media folder is created. Okay, media folder is what? Created, right? Now in this folder, understood? Right now, base directory refers to which one? Project container folder. And in that folder, it is referring to which folder? Media folder. It is referring to which folder? Media folder. Then next is what you're doing. You're trying to create a model. Now go to the application and select the models.py. For example, you want to create a model called which one? Person or anything, anything you can take. So models dot which one? Model. So here you are creating a model, and this model, what it is having, suppose assume that some person means I'm just taking some name, and name is models dot which field it is? Character field, and this is the maximum length is some 20. And next one is photo. Okay, next one is what here? Photograph of that person. Okay, then it is a models dot what is the name of this is? Image field. What is the name of this is? Image field. And this image field is having some attributes. This image field is having some attributes. Now you have to define where you want to store it. Okay, where you want to store it. Where you want to store it. Now it is having some attributes. If you see the attributes, now there is an attribute. What is the name of the attribute is upload to. What is the name of the attribute? Upload to. Where you want to upload to? You want to upload it to where? You have to give a location or not? Yes. But if you don't give a location, then it will upload to which folder directly in? Directly it will upload in which folder? Media only. But in media folder, if it is any other folder is there, then give that name. For example, in media, you have images, audio, as well as video. Then what will I do? I'll just give upload to. What is the name of the attribute? Upload to. Then I'll give the location. What is the location I'm giving? Images. What is the location I said here? Images. Means I want to upload it to which location? Images. Okay, it means what is the default path it will take? It will take the path as what? Project 33 slash media slash, what is that? Images. project 33 slash media slash, what is that? Images. Now it means that is the location where it will store it. Getting on. So you need to define image field. This is which one? Image field, you have to define it. Now this is compulsory. Now in media, I'll try to create. In media, I'll try to create one folder. So what is the folder I'm creating? The folder is what here? Images. Because inside media, you are storing images in which folder? Images folder. So model is created. Then what do you have to do? Okay, using this model, I need to create a form or not? Yes. I need to create one form. Form has to be created. Okay, because you input the name and you upload the image. And then after uploading the image, okay, then what do you have to do? Submit. Then when you submit, this data is sent to what? View. And view will receive this request and then store into what? Yes. Right. Now, next thing is what you have to do is uh, we'll use database. What is database? I'll take MySQL and give the database name. Okay. Now MySQL command line. So I create another database. So this is project 33DB. Now use 33DB. Okay. Now this is my database 33 and give the username. Give the username, which is root. Give the password. So this is a database password. And then give the host. And what is the host is? Local host. And give the support number 3306. So I think we have defined all this. Understood, right? Now what I'll do is first I'll do the migrations. Do the migrations. So for that, install the application first. Application 1. So Python manage.py make migration. Okay. Error. There is here. Now system check identified some issues. And what is it here? URL. The media URL setting must end with what here? Slash. And after that, it is also said that cannot use image field because below is not installed. Now, whenever you are working with images, you have to install one library. Whenever you are working with the media files, you have to use one library. And what is the name of the library? Below. Below this library, you have to install it. This is for managing. This is managing or working with what? Images. This is working with the images. What is that in settings.py? This should be end with what? Yes. Okay, now we have to install pip install. What is the name of the library? Below. Install this library. So to work with this image field is there, no? This image field, to use this image field, you have to install one library. What is the name of the library? Below. Okay. So for working with image field, yeah, here I'm writing. Okay, for working with, so for working with images or media files, install a library. What is the name of that? Below. So just install pip install which one? Below. Okay, right? Now this library has to be installed. This library must be installed. Now next is, after installing, now make the migrations. Make migrations and migrate. Make migrations and what? Migrate. Okay, now migration is done. Okay, that is after installing this. Now what do you do it first? Do the migrations. Okay, before that, you build a model. All right, before that, you have to build a model. Model has to be built. So here model contain. So this is in models dot what? Py. In models dot py, I created one model. And this is a model which I created. So after creating a model, now you do this. Okay. So, but before that, in settings.py, you have to do all this. Okay. So media name, URL, you have to define. And then after this, so create a form. Go to applications.py. Sorry. Go to application and create. What do you create? Forms.py. So from Django import forms. From Django import forms, and there is a form. And what is the form is person form, forms.form. Form or model form? Model form. This is a model form, and there is a class meta, and you need to define the model. And what is the name of the model is from application one.models import. What is the name of the model is person. Person is a model name, and I want to include all the fields. So what I want to include all the fields I want to include. Ring on. So we develop a form. What is the form is person form, and this form include all the fields. Okay, all the fields are included. Next step is what you have to do. You have to develop a view. This is in forms.py. This is in forms.py. In forms, what I did, I developed a form where you can input the image name and what is that image. So after this, now what you have to do next is you have to create a view. You have to create a view, and what is the view is upload. What is the name of the view I'm using? Upload view, and there is a request. Upload view, and there is a request. Now what you have to do? You have to read from application one dot forms import. What is the name of the form is person form. Now always the image is uploaded by using which request method? Post, not get, because images, audio, video, all these files are binary files. But whenever you are saying get request, the get is only text, because whatever you are sending it, it is concatenated with what? URL. Whatever data you are sending it, the data is concatenated with URL. Getting on? The text what you are sending is concatenated with URL, right? So because of that, always you upload the images, large files, you'll try to send it by using which method? Post method. You send it by using which method? Post method. If request dot method double equal to what here? Post. If the request method equal to post, what do you have to do? You have to load this data into the form, and then you have to validate. Then what do you have to do? You have to validate. If it is valid, what do you have to do? Save it. If it is valid, you have to save. Then create a form. So create a form, and what is that form is? Person form. Create a form. Person form with a request dot. What is that? Post. Request dot post. And request dot post. What post contain? Post to contain form data or not? Yes. But in this form data, you find different fields, right? This form data contain different fields. Okay, but you need to read. See, generally it will send along with the path, but it should also read the content of which one? File. It should also read the content of file. Streaming means when you're uploading it, what will happen? The file has to be upload from client system to what? Server. Then server should read the data from what? Files. It should read the data from files. Getting on? Not for that, you should also define one more parameter. And what is that parameter is request dot. Okay, request dot. What is the name of this is files. Request dot files. What request dot files contain? File object where you can read the data and save it. Where you can read the data and what? Save it. It contains the physical path of the client, because you're uploading, right? When you're uploading, you should upload along with the data or not? Yes. And you should get information about file. Means what is the name of the file? Are you saving file with the same name or different name? Generally, when you upload it, will it upload with the same name or different name? Same name. Getting on it. But how can I get the information about that file? By using which attribute? Files. By using which attribute here? Files attribute. Request dot here. What is the name of the dictionary is request dot files. Request dot files. This is one more which get the information about file. This is a part of which one? Post. And this is nothing but fields like what is that? So input type equal to which one? File. Now files, upload file instance which provide the attributes like what is the name of the file, size of the file, and methods like what? Read. What read is for reading information about that file. Okay. But all these things are taken care by which one? All these things are taken care by which one? Form. All these things are taken care by which one? Form. I'm not saying request.files.read. I'm not saying request.files.name. I'm not saying request.files.what? What? Size. Sometimes what will happen is you can upload only, sometimes they'll give the size right. You can upload only 100 KB, 200 KB. If you send more than that, immediately your server gives what? Error. How can you define that? By using request.files.size. If the size is more than 100 KB, then immediately you'll send a response saying the file is exceeded, size is exceeded or not? Yes. So you can get the file name, file size, and you can read data from the file by using which attribute? Files attribute. Getting on. So compulsory, you have to give how many inputs to the form? two inputs. One is post data and one more is which one? Files. After this, you have to validate if form dot is what? Valid. Form dot is valid. Then you'll say form dot save. Form dot save. Now you save. Save is it inserting data into what? Model. But in model, what it will store? Path. But where the file is created in? Media folder. Where the file is created in? Media folder. In media folder, in which folder? Images folder. In media folder, in which folder? Images folder, it will do it. Then return the response saying that response. I'll just give a response equal to from uh, Django dot HTTP import. What do you import? HTTP response. So here I'm saying HTTP response, and I'll say image what? Uploaded. Image uploaded. Image uploaded, and return a response. Otherwise, if the request method is a get, you should create empty form or not? Yes, form equal to person form. Now this is which form? Empty form, and this form should be rendered into one template where you do upload. Where you upload or not? Yes. So here, what I'm saying, response. A response equal to render a request comma upload template dot HTML comma context. So form is a name and form is a object. Then return. What do you return here? A response. What do you return here? A response. Response is written. Getting or not? Okay. So form and form object. Then next, you have to create folder. Which folder? Templates folder. You have to create template folder. And in the template folder, you have to create a template. And what is the name of this template? Upload template.html. In the templates, so create a template called upload template.html. And in this template, now whenever you send this is what here? Form method. So form method equal to what? Post. And whenever you send, see here, whenever you send an image, you have to send the image. You have to send, see, you can read like this: request.files document complete information. Now, whenever you send or upload the images, then you have to send the request by using which method? Post method. And you have to use encryption type. Encryption type equal to multi-part form data. Multi-part form data means it will try to upload the file by dividing into multiple parts. Multiple parts means, okay, so you have a files attribute or not? Yes, that files attribute contain name as well as what? Data. Getting on? That is called multi-part form data. Multi-part form data. Whenever you are uploading the images, audio files, and what is that? Video files, it will upload in multiple parts. Multiple parts. Multiple parts means the data might be divided into multiple parts, but it is not sent as a one. Now you have to define encryption type. What is encryption type? Encoding type or encryption type? And you define this as a multi-part form data. Multi-part form data compulsory. Then after that, you have to insert the form. Insert the form. Form dot as what? Paragraph. Now input type. Input type equal to submit. And value is save. Value is what? Save or create. Now you are creating a profile. It's nothing but creating what? Profile. Creating a profile. You put it. So profile user or person. Person what? Profile. Person profile. You are creating it. Okay. Now there is only one view. This view will handle both the request, get request as well as this is only one view. This will handle both the request, get request and post request. Now you have to write CSRF token. So percentage CSRF token. So multi-part form data, right? Encoding type or encryption type. Okay. Then after that, define URL. Let's go to urls.py. So from application one.views import. What is the name of the view is upload view. So define the path. Upload view, same name I've taken. What is the name of the view is upload view. That is defined in where it is defined in urls.py. Then run the server python manage.py. Template settings are not defined. Define template. So base directly slash. What is the name of this is templates. Okay, na? So run the server. So unknown fields. What happened here? Forms.py. All only. Fields equal to all. Any error? Okay, right now I included all the fields. And now run the server here. Now, what is the name of the view is upload view. Upload underscore view. Now here, name of the person and photo. So input the name. Photo we required, right? Huh? Huh? हाँ कमल का है और पुराना सिस्टम है यार कमल है क्या नहीं we'll take one image uh, save image and downloads it there. This image is which type? JPG we required, right? Yeah. So this is a JPG and I'm saving in downloads. Okay, right? My photo. I'll add it. Okay, now this is. So upload the image, choose the file, and it is there in downloads. And this is same name, it will upload it. It will upload in the same file name. Okay, then click on create. Now image uploaded. बहुत जल्दी हो गया यार. So go to the database. So where is your database? Now show tables. What is our table is here? Application one underscore person. Select star from application one underscore person. See here. This is the name and this is image location. But image will be there or not? Yes. In the server, you can see this image is uploaded here. This image is uploaded or not? Yes. But in database, which one is there? Only path. Image will not be there in the database. Which one will be there in the database? Only path. That means whenever you download, it will download from this location. It will download from this location. Understood? Right? These are simple. But how to read this image? How to read this image and display it? When you say view profile, then you should display the profile or not? Yes. But that we'll see tomorrow. Right? But this you understood, right? Okay. Just do it. Tomorrow we'll see more. Right? Thank you.